Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to Hey Fallon, You're Doing It Wrong by the film theorist, or Matt Pat, or whatever. Let's get started.
Colbert, Jimmy 1, Jimmy 2. I've told you all here for one important reason, so listen up. You can't shoot any more late night shows here in our beautiful, overly expensive studio. So congratulations, you're all YouTubers now. Meet your new audience, boys.
Hey
What?
there, sport. You, like jokes about politics and current...
Shut up and play Fortnite, old man.
Uh-oh.
It's Film Theory with Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, generic image of a man, generic image of a woman, and of course your host, a two-dimensional cutout vaguely animated to have emotion, Matt Pat. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory. We're living in strange times, aren't we? Handshakes aren't cool anymore. We're not just allowed, but encouraged to be wearing face masks into places you probably shouldn't be wearing face masks normally, like gas stations, banks, and liquor stores. And most strangely of all, late-night television shows are doing something unheard of. They're being forced to change. Let me give you a little bit of backstory here. It was 1954 when Tonight starring Steve Allen, the precursor to The Tonight Show, first hit the national airwaves. At the time, the concept of a live late-night show was so fresh, so new that Steve Allen basically had to explain to his national audience what they were seeing in the first episode.
That was actually a live picture you were looking at. That was not movie film. You were actually seeing Times Square here in New York City.
But audiences in 2020 need no explanation. Mostly because they've been watching the exact same formula for 64 years. This is that 1954 broadcast.
From New York City, the National Broadcasting Company presents Tonight, starring Steve Allen.
And this
New York City. It's the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, hold up, let's try this actually. This might be fun. Let's turn the screen black and white. Squeeze in that aspect ratio, add a bit of that old-time graininess to it. And lastly, Yossi, Audio Master. Let's crank up that treble and turn down that bass. Now let's play this whole thing again.
From Miller Plaza here in New York City. It's the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
It is just like the 50s. Sure, we have better cameras and sound, but the formula is still the same. Then, just as it started to feel like late-night shows would continue doing their best impressions of a 50s-era variety show for the rest of eternity, everything changed in the blink of an eye. Early March 2020, with social distancing orders imminent in California and New York, many late-night shows announced that they would continue shooting episodes in studio, but without the studio audience present. Only people in the audience right now are some members of my staff.
What?
Hi, guys. Almost immediately thereafter, many of those same shows changed their minds and elected to suspend production outright in order to protect their staff and crews, which makes sense because the staff and crews of these late-night shows are massive. I mean, get a load of how many people are credited on Colbert's January 10th
I do not
episode
know any
alone.
of those
If you're
guys.
counting along at home, that is 23 writing credits, 39 producer credits. Who knew that it took that many people to rip off YouTuber formats?
Bondi Beach.
Are they playing?
Bondi Beach.
Is that?
Then, one by one, the late-night shows all re-emerged in their quarantine forms. These episodes had severely pared-down production values and were shot from the hosts' homes while in quarantine. Celebrity guests started dropping by via
It's
video
Jack Black.
conference. The hosts' own family stepped in as iPhone camera operators and recurring guests.
At home, my wife is a cameraman. Winnie's the musician. Thank you so much.
My crew is still one of my children. Tonight, it is my son, John. Which, can I just say, is a bit curious, because all the big late-night programs are union productions. A bit skeptical that Colbert's college-age son is a card-carrying member of Yahtzee, and I doubt Fallon's kids, who are getting a bunch of screen time these days, are up on their SAG-AFTRA rules, or that COPPA is okay with the amount of work they're putting into their productions. But hey, you know, I could be wrong. The point here is that gone with the slick sets, gone with the studio bands, gone with the couches and desks and audiences required to laugh at every mundane, tired joke. Overnight, late-night talk show hosts got turned into low-budget YouTubers. And as any homegrown YouTuber will tell ya, it means that they've been left with no safety nets to protect them against the biggest fear of them all, the cringe. cringe. So today, as a homespun YouTuber myself, I'm analyzing their performance. Which late-night celebrity turned out to be the best YouTuber? What lessons did they need to learn while working out of their at-home studios? And what does all of this mean for the future of late-night programming? Outside of me never getting invited onto one of these shows ever, because everyone's going to be bitter at me about this episode. Sorry, not sorry. Before we dive in, a little housekeeping up front. There are a whole lot of late-night shows out there, so I'm going to have to limit today's conversation to the following list: Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, James Corden, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, Conan O'Brien, and Trevor Noah. We're only going to look at major U.S. late-night shows that have transitioned to doing quarantine version episodes of their show from home multiple times per week. So if a show isn't producing new episodes at the moment, or only did one episode a week to begin with, well, then they're not part of today's discussion. So with all that out of the way, I've taken the liberty of pouring through hours and hours of these new low-budget quarantine version episodes. Here's what your friendly neighborhood YouTube coach Matt Pat is seeing across the board. First off, I am seeing some really unflattering camera angles there, people. You are professionals. You are adults. You are trained in this industry. We're trying to decrease the number of chins, not increase them, people. So let's get that camera eye level or higher. Kimmel, Conan, what are you doing? We understand that you don't have wardrobe, makeup, or hair departments at the moment. Nobody is faulting you for that. But you can absolutely get your camera up at eye level. Points off for both of you, gentlemen. Next up, let's talk delivery. There's something to be said for sticking with what you do best, but then again, when you actually see some of these late night hosts delivering jokes the exact same way that they do to a live studio audience, well, that's when the cringe really starts to set in. You're talking to a camera, not a theater filled with live bodies who are forced to react to everything that you say. Seth Meyers is especially guilty of holding for laughs when there's no studio audience present.
The Treasury Department has ordered that President Trump's name will be printed on relief checks, which will be the first time he's ever put his name on something helpful.
Man, there are no laughs coming, my friend. Everyone
Nope.
is always eager to make fun of how frenetic YouTubers are.
It's
Their
so cringe.
smash cuts every few seconds. But there's a reason for that. The internet runs at a mile a minute, and pauses in this universe are used to show that something is awkward, not that something is funny. You let it sit and hang because it's uncomfortable. Memes, graphics, sound effects. These are the things that punctuate jokes and serve as transitions, filling the gaps in where a laugh track would normally be. Granted, delivering a joke to an empty room isn't ideal. I know that as well as anybody. But when you're delivering jokes out of your poorly lit living room, the
Con 13M tienes la calidad de los profesionales en tu casa gracias a la fórmula dentro de su icónica botella. 13M, por más de 70 años llevando el salón a casa. El especialista en cabello en tus manos. 13M.
of time in YouTube history. On the television side, their numbers either didn't fluctuate at all, or they only saw incremental increases. Nothing compared to what the Trevor Noah show is doing. So the question becomes, what does all of this mean? Why is any of this important? I mean, if a late-night host like Trevor Noah can make the show out of his living room and actually gain ground on his late-night peers not only on YouTube, but in broadcast as well, maybe there are some lessons here that late-night shows can take to heart. What might those lessons be? Well, I got some theories. Theory 1, guests won't physically come into the studio as often. When the late-night shows did away with in-studio celebrity guests for a month, their broadcast ratings weren't hurt. So maybe it's time to re-examine whether contemporary audiences need or expect their celebrity guests to actually be in studio. Other industries are figuring out that telecommuting can work. Why not late night? Theory number 2, late night shows will see their budgets start to shrink. Networks love saving money. In fact, a big reason why The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon moved to New York after Jay Leno retired was because the show could save $20 million annually on tax credits. And the quarantine has helped highlight a couple of areas where costs could get trimmed. But here's the biggest and most important takeaway. Theory number 3. Digital is indeed the future. We've talked about it for years now about how YouTube is paving the way for entertainment, and I've made no small deal about how I'm pro Team Internet over here. But here is your proof in the pudding right now, traditional media. The numbers don't lie. One of the oldest television show formats in history starts showing better their numbers when they started producing like YouTubers. And not just on YouTube, but also on broadcast television. Popular opinion is changing. What people want to watch is evolving. Audiences are looking for something different. Some good news is yet another example of that. The times, they are a-changin'. The question is, traditional media, are you willing to change with it? At the very least, are you just gonna give us YouTubers some respect finally? Because y'all seem to be failing pretty hard when it comes to doing our job. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And subscribe so that my numbers can actually trash the numbers of those late night shows. That's it. Hit the subscribe button right now. Show traditional media that yes, YouTubers can produce stuff that people.
Yeah, I had to skip a part of it because it's way too long and I only get to record 15 minutes. Yeah, sorry.